Hey everyone, it's Gary, and in today's video I'm going to take you through a tour of Soccer Pro so you can see all the different things that we have in here. And I'm going to take it section by section so that if you want, you can jump ahead. But I've been doing a lot of demos for a lot of players and a lot of coaches and a lot of clubs, and I thought, maybe it's about time I just sat down and did a demo for you so that you can just watch it at your leisure on whatever schedule you happen to be on. So let's get started, and I'll take you through and show you all the different things that you can do to run your entire business, your entire club, and all your coaching through one system. So let's just log in, and you'll notice that this is a Joe Tester account, so there is some goofy stuff in here. And right away we'll come into our main menu. Now the reason we land here is because this is really a big part of our system, is the coaching aspect of it. We want to make sure that you can do your coaching videos, your highlight videos, your highlight segments, your playlist videos, your private lessons. All of it can be done, and most importantly, we have the sharing capability. Now this is something that is extremely unique, so I want to explain this to you in detail. Because when you share a video, let's say on YouTube, well, all I can do is watch your video. I can't do anything but watch it. When you share a video inside of Soccer Pro, everybody gets the video in one click, because you can make groups and just share it all at once. But most importantly, everybody gets to use it for their own purpose. In other words, if I'm a coach, I get to make a coaching video. If I'm a player, I might want to make highlight videos. I could make highlight segments. I could do private lessons. But here's the key. No matter what I do or no matter what you do, it never affects the source video. I can chop it up my way, you can chop it up your way, 20 more people can chop it up any way they want and use it for any purpose that they want, but it never affects the source video. And that is a very unique aspect of our sharing. A, we make it very easy to share video, and B, we make it very easy to use that shared video, but C, we make it so that no matter what anyone else does, it never affects the source video. That's a really important aspect of our system. Now, with our coaching videos, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going, well, you know what? I'll show you a existing coaching video so you can see all the different things you can do with it. And I have quite a few in here, so you can imagine I've been a little busy. So we'll open up our dedicated editor. And this editor was made specifically for coaching. We don't have this for making cinematography type videos and all that other fancy stuff. What we want to do is make it big button simple. So here you see that you've got your video source, what we call your original media. We have tags in here. So these are our default tags. The most typical tags that people are going to use. You have offensive tags, defensive tags, and then you'll notice down here there's these orange bars around these tags. Well, these are the custom tags. So if you want to add anything in here, you can just come in here and name your tag and add it. It's that simple. So if you want to just use our default tags, that's great. If you want to add more, that's easily done. And you can also tag at the player level. See here, there's the number, and in some of these tags you'll see numbers. In some of these tags you'll just see unknown. Well, two things happen. One, you may not know who that player is, so you have to add a tag and say, well, there was a shot on goal by some unknown player. You might use this for the other team, or sometimes the video is just hard to tell who actually did what, so we have an unknown. But if you just click default, everything goes to unknown, because maybe on the opposing team, you don't care. You're not going to tag down to the player level. So you can do it either way. You can either tag down at the player level and see that number 20 did the throw in and number 17 did the foul. And then you can have unknowns or team level. So you can tag down to the player level. You can tag down to the team level. And you can do as much or as little as you choose. If you just want to focus on coaches' tips, you can do that. If you want to focus, and here's a good one. The thing I like about this coaches tip, and a lot of these are in here, some of these are real, some of these are fake just from demos, but you see this part here, the coach's audio. Well, all these arrows may or may not make sense without the audio. So if you have something very complicated to explain, or you just don't feel like typing, you can simply click on this icon here and talk into your computer, and it will show up as coach's audio. Now, when the players rewatch this video, remember, this is the editor side, this is not the watching side. But when the players watch this video, they can simply click and then hear your voice. So they'll hear the explanation of what you want them to understand from this coach's tip, okay? And there's all sorts of different functions, but for the most part, it's free draw, circles, these areas, arrows, text, lines, and audio. That's all we're focusing on. How do we make simple coaching videos and do it quickly? Now, I've talked about how we have the tags, we have the team. You can do it at team level, player level. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to add in a coach's tip. And I'm just going to make one up here. I'm going to come to a spot on the video. And if I wanted to explain something, all I would have to do is click on coach's tip and then start doing my work. Let's say I'll just draw this, and I'll put a circle around here. And let's see, I'll just do some area, because maybe I want them to play into this area. Again, I'm just making things up. Now I could put in my text, I could put in audio to explain what's happening. And that's pretty important. You have to be able to explain it. Just putting this on the screen, it wouldn't make any sense. So again, either add text or add audio. All right, and that's it. Now when I'm done, all I have to do is click play and it goes. So what's going to happen? When this video plays back, every single time it gets to a coach's tip, it will stop and it will display this information, and the video will not start again until the person watching the video hits the play button. Some coach's tips are very short, some are very long. So therefore, we make it a manual process. It stops, displays the information, and when the person's ready to move on, when they feel like they've grasped everything in this coach's tip, they hit the play button and it goes to the next one. Okay. Now, what else is in here? Well, we have time of possession, we have passes connected, passes lost, and of course we have all kinds of reports that all these tags feed into. So these tags do a couple things. One, they act as a filter, and I'll show you this later in the demo, but they act as a filter. So when I want to see all my crosses, for example, I click on the cross box, I check the check box, and then we have a jump button that takes me to all the crosses or to all the fouls or out to the goals or whatever it is I'm trying to filter. I can also filter and jump to the coach's tips. So these tags give me filtering when I'm watching the video. It also gives me data reports. Okay, same thing, time of possession, passes connected, passes lost, all that stuff is used to create data reports. The coach's tips are the why, the data is the what. So me personally, I think the heart and soul of the system is the why, because the data tells you where you are, but the coach's tips tell you how to get to where you want to be, how to improve, how to get better. So, okay, now what I can do, I'll go, oh, wait, before I do that, I need to show you a couple things. I was going to show you that what I can do now is I can render this as a coaching video. But you see that there are other things in here like highlight segments, highlight videos, private lessons, and playlist videos. So what are these? Well, a highlight segment allows me to save this single highlight. And here again, I'm going to add a highlight in here. So I'm going to come to a point in the video and I'm going to say this is a very good play. I'm going to click on highlight, and you see how this injects a 10-second highlight in, puts the fade in, fade out. But I actually want it longer, so I'm just going to drag that, and then to add to it, I want to focus on this player here. So we're going to put our focus animation in, and now when we play this video back, this plays back differently than a coach's video. When I make a highlight video, what's going to happen, it's going to take this segment and this one and all these yellow segments. It's going to squish them all together It's going to make one video, and it's going to have the highlights going in and out, in and out. And every single time one of these focus animations is injected into the video will pause. It won't stop, it'll pause for about half a second, draw your attention to the point of action, and then continue on. So when you are sending this video to a recruiter, he knows who to look at. I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos where people will say, watch for number 4. Well, look at this video. How am I going to watch for number 4 in here? And then with all the action, and then a new play comes in, and then a new play and another new play. Well, if you're a college recruiter, you're never going to follow number 4. You need to have a system like this where the highlight comes in, the focus animation appears, draws my attention to that spot in the video, and then the video continues on so I can watch it. Now, that's different than the coach's tip, because the coach's tip stops. And it makes sense because a coach's tip has a lot of information in it. A focus animation is just, hey, look here, and then continue on. Okay, so if I make a coach's video, it takes all this data, the coach's tips, the tags, puts it all into the video. If I want a highlight video, okay, this will take all those video segments and squish them together into one continuous video. But what if I just want highlight segments? What if I want all these yellow segments to remain individual? Well, I can do that by calling it highlight segments and then just naming each one. Those have a purpose too. If you want to create, let's say, goalkeeper videos, if you want to create best practice videos, maybe offensive best practices, defensive best practices, those sorts of things. You can accumulate these segments then over the course of time, over a season. You can put it into your learning center. You can do all sorts of things with it. So there's a little different application for it. A highlight segment is very narrow in focus. A highlight video is used more typically for a recruitment video. You certainly wouldn't send a coach a 3-second, 5-second, 15-second highlight segment every single time. They want to see the whole game video. All right, private lessons. Here again, you'll see this purple segment down here. Well, a private lesson is exactly the same as a coach's tip, or a coaching video, I should say. You can put coach's tips in there. You can put all sorts of instructions in there. Now, the reason we have private videos is in case you have something that you just don't want to expose to the whole team, but you need to fix it. You know, someone really messed up or is doing something wrong, and you don't want to, insult or criticize in public. You want to criticize in private, compliment in public. That's what the private lessons are for. Some people use them for different purposes, though. If they are making, let's say, goalkeeper videos, if they're doing striker videos, now they can take a specific segment of that video. They can make a coaching point out of it and send it just to that group. Either way works. It really wasn't what we intended it for, but people are doing it that way, so I like to bring that up. Okay, and a playlist video is nothing more than taking a bunch of highlight segments, combining them together to make a playlist video. So, similar in nature, but different in application. Now I'm just going to show you how the playback video works. When a person watches the video, they can watch it straight through, and the video will stop at every single coach's tip. Now you'll see that there's text, there's arrows, circles, an area, and we have our coach's audio. If I click this button, I can hear my coach speaking directly to me. When I'm done with this coach's tip, all I need to do is press the play button, and the video will continue on until it comes to the next coach's tip. Now another way I can play this video is to click on coach's tip, and I can jump directly to the next coach's tip. So if I want to get through this video very quickly and just go to the salient points, I can do that just by clicking jump after jump after jump. Now, I can also do the same thing with my tags. For example, I can use this as a filter and go to all the shots on goal just by clicking on the filter and then clicking the jump button. And there's my shot on goal. If I want to see the next shot on goal, just click the jump button again. And there's the next one. So I can do this again and again and just get to the points that I really want to cover in my coach's review meeting. If I want to see all the plays with a specific player, I can do the same thing. I can just click on the players I'm interested in seeing and use the jump button again, and it will take me to these specific players. All right, and that's it. We tried to keep things as simple as possible. There's a few other things in here like our tag delay and putting in your lineup and all those different things. But for right now, I'm just going to stop and I've showed you the heart and soul of the editor. And now I want to take you back into the other parts of our system. So let's head back into the main section. And we're going to come into reports. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I want you to see that we have a whole extensive array of reports. Game at a glance shows the whole thing. You can do a game summary where you take reports and add your commentary into it. Passes connected, time of possession, all the types of reports that you would typically expect to see. And of course, you can share the reports with everyone. Now, again, I'm more of a why versus a what guy. So I like the reports, but to me, the most important thing is taking your soccer IQ out of your head, sharing it through coaches' tips, and getting it into the brains of your players. To me, that's the most important part. We've got the notification system as things come in. Of course, you are pinged. We have a mobile app. I'm not going to show you the mobile app now because it's a little hard to do, but it's right here on your cell phone. All you have to do is take it, download it, and you can perform all these mobile functions. Now, can you do everything? No. There are certain things that make sense, like our scheduling, messaging, session creator. All those things make sense. But should we do player evaluations on a mobile app? No, that's better done on a computer. Even the coaching videos, you can think about doing them on your cell phone, but it's hard enough to watch a soccer game on a cell phone, much less try to do coaching analysis from it. So we just don't do it. It's not practical. Coaching analysis should be done, needs to be done on a computer with the biggest screen you can possibly get, and view the whole thing in as much detail. All right, messaging system. Again, fairly straightforward. There's a lot of messaging systems out there. One of the things that we did in ours that makes it a little different is, of course, we made sure that you can add attachments. People like to send Word documents, PDFs, Excel documents, whatever. Our system can do it where a lot of systems can't. But now here's where we really get into some differentiation. Because with Soccer Pro, we understand soccer. We understand what it takes to travel. We understand what it takes to coordinate all that mess that you have when you've got to get a team to a showcase, to a tournament, when you're going out of state. It's a lot more than just saying, here's the time of the game, here's the field number, here's the location, show up. Well, that's like the first 5%. That's the easiest part. So you'll notice that in our scheduling system, first of all, we have everything color coded. You've got your practices, games, events. And you'll notice, well, let's start with practices. You'll notice that some of these have a icon and the word session. Some of these are just straight practices with nothing in there. And the difference is that you can take a session, you can do your session plan, you can attach it to your practice. So not only are you scheduling your practices, but your session plan is already with that practice that is scheduled and documented, detailed already as part of your schedule. Okay, when you get into games, same thing. You'll notice that some are just basic straight up games where we have our arrival time, start time, end time, kit color, location, field number, which, I don't know why some of these scheduling systems still don't think field numbers are important, but for soccer, they're critical. Getting to the complex is only half the battle. Anyhow, when we come into some of these others, you'll see that there's an itinerary on it. And what is that? Well, this is where we take the travel system or the travel needs into account. So let me go ahead and create a schedule for you. I'll do this real quick. So I want you to see how we've taken soccer scheduling and really taken it to the next level. So here we're going to have an opponent. We'll just put in FC Red. I'll just make it up. Okay, and we're going to schedule it for Friday. If you have a local college and you need to leave from the university, you might have a departure time. If you are at a hotel, you might have a departure time. So if you want to use it, it's optional. If you don't use it. But we have a departure time, an arrival time, a start time, an end time. Because again, with soccer, it's not just what time does the game start, what time do you want your players to be there. All right, so in this case, we're going to have a departure time. It's going to be, I'll say, well, we'll keep that at 8. Change this to 9:30. The game will start at 10:30 and it'll end at, let's say, 1 o'clock. Okay, kit color. You can put as many kit colors in here as you want. You can have your home, your away, practice kit, whatever you want players to wear. So in this case, we'll go red and white. Our field number is going to be 12. And here again, we've used a lot of these different scheduling systems because we came up through travel soccer. One of the problems you run into is when you have a database that gets automatically created, it becomes a big jumbled mess. So for example, if I have ELA dash 100%, well, someone might put it in this way, someone might have no dash, someone might put it in all the different ways. So what we do is we say, well, look, we're going to have this here, but if somebody puts in Libertyville space dash space LTSC, and then someone else puts it in like this, well, if you let the computer do it automatically, they're going to recognize that as a unique entry and add that into your complex database. But that creates a mess. So before you know it, your complex database is so populated with similar type records, it's useless. So what we do is just something very common sense, but very simple. If you want it as a new record, check the box. If you don't, leave it unchecked. This way it keeps your database clean. Okay. You can also clean it up manually, but you don't want to. You just want to keep it clean to start. So anyhow, for the purpose of this explanation, I'm just going to go like this, and you'll see how it pre-populates everything. And we can put in a note here, play hard. Okay. Little typo. All right, now I could submit this, and this would just be your standard game. Or if I'm traveling, again, to a showcase, tournament, whatever, I'm going to come in, I need to add an itinerary because there's a lot more to our schedule than just the game. So again, I can choose either a template or I can start a new one. And I can select all the different things that we're going to do. Now in this case, I can unselect or deselect chaperone 3 and 4 because we're not going to have 4 chaperones, only 2. And in this case, we're going to have breakfast, lunch, and no, we're not going to have breakfast, so I won't include that. But we have the wake up time, meet and lobby time, lights out, video coaching session, kit color, field number complex, all this information. And these are all things that you know everyone always needs. For example, what time are lights out? What time do we meet in the lobby? What's our departure time, arrival time? And you'll see that some of this is coming from the itinerary. Some of this has already been established by the creation of the schedule. So the departure time, arrival time, start time, end time, this is coming in from the schedule. Same thing here, kit color, field number, this is all coming in from the creation of the schedule. But now we can come in here and we can say, well, we're going to have our wake up time at 7, meet in the lobby at 10. That doesn't make sense because we're going to meet in the lobby at 7:30. Okay, and because we're leaving at 8. So wake up, meet in the lobby, departure time, arrival time, start time, end time, lights out, 10 o'clock. We're going to have a video coaching session at, let's go 7 p.m. because we're going to have dinner, and we'll do this in this conference room. Okay. Hotel name, and again, I'm just going to do this real quickly. This is all fake information. Hotel phone, booking link. How many times have you had to answer the question, what's the booking link? Because every time we go to a tournament, everyone needs to know that hotel booking link, but it always seems to disappear. We want to know who the chaperones are, okay? We want to know who do we need to get a hold of when there's something that's breaking bad or good, or someone has to pick someone else up at the airport or arrange transportation, or who's going to be the van driver. All that information is now in here so you can contact these people. Meals, those are a big problem. So we put in a meal planner. So now you can send all this information to the admin. So if you're an admin and you're going to go to, let's say, I don't know, Panera Bread, and where's the address? Okay, maybe we're meeting there after the game. Okay, in this case, let's see, the game ends at 1. So we'll schedule lunch for, let's go lunch at 2 o'clock. Okay. And here we can have our menu choices, general menu, but maybe you want to put a note in there. Get the apple instead of the chips. And for dinner, we're going to do that at, let's say 8 o'clock. We'll do it at 6, so we'll have our video session after. So 6 o'clock. And we're going to meet in the conference room because we're going to cater this in. Okay, so now we're going to go to, let's say, Olive Garden, and you'll have chicken parmesan, da-da-da. And again, here's a note. Okay, so now we have our meal planned out, we have our schedule planned out, we've got notes in there so people know what to expect for the meals. We've got any itinerary notes like book early, no team vans. Okay, and we'll save that. All right. Now what you're going to find is, of course, the maps, we've got directions, we've got all those different things to get us to that game. We can view our itinerary, and now we've got the whole thing laid out. The team, the kit, the field number, complex, address, URL, hotel, booking link, chaperones, time schedule, top to bottom. We're not going to just say, here's our game, but I mean top to bottom, from the start of the day to the end of the day, it's all laid out. We've got our game notes, itinerary notes, our meals. So this is all laid out. Notes, what we're having. And when I want to make my selection, I can say I want, we're having a general menu for lunch. So I'm going to have a ham sandwich. And let's see, special notes. Hold the mail. And dinner, I'm going to have the chicken. And extra sauce. Okay. Now our menu's created. See, now and then I can also print it. So our entire itinerary is available on your computer, on your cell phone, and you can print everything out, because sometimes you don't always have things accessible, especially when you're at a field that's remote. Okay, so now I've got my players, my coaches, my admins, everyone creates this list. So obviously I've only added one person here, but as every player, as every coach, every admin puts their menu items in, it all appears here. So now it's all consolidated in one easy to manage location. Your schedule for soccer, kit, field, all those things you need, your hotel, your chaperones, your meal, everything is in this scheduling system. This is a one-of-a-kind system that no one else has, because no one else thinks of all these things for soccer. And we've got a few more tricks we're going to add to this. We're going to make it a little bit better, but you can see right now we're already light years ahead of any of the other scheduling systems out there. Okay, I promised you that I would show you these session planners. So I'm going to move on from the scheduling system. This thing really is impressive. I mean, we've really used this thing and really refined this thing to the nth degree. You will not find another scheduling system like this one, period. Nobody thinks about soccer like soccer people. Okay? Anyhow, let's move on to the session planner. Now, I want to explain that whenever we do something, fundamentally, we are always creating libraries. In other words, we don't want you to have to retype and re-enter things all the time. So when we create a session plan, what we do is we have our equipment. Okay, we create our library of equipment, and these are just fictitious, but cones, hurdles, jump box, wall, whatever it is you're going to use for your session. Okay, we create that library. Now that's always in there. You can always just select from it. You then create your activities. Okay, and I'm going to just create a simple activity called, I don't know, we'll just make it jumping. Okay, I put in my description, what do I need? Oh, jump boxes. I can select a category, and categories are really just for organization. My time duration, let's do that for 10 minutes. Rest time is 2 minutes, and we'll do 2 sets. So a lot of jumping. Okay. Repetitions, intensity, we'll go pretty high. And this is optional. Now I can also enter a video. If I want to show people how to do it, I can enter a video so that I can not only put in a description and a name, but I can put in videos or images so people know exactly what this activity is. Okay? All right. Now I have my library of equipment. I have my library of activities. And I can create my sessions, and these I can use over and over again. Just because I create it and leave it here, it's basically creating a library. Now the nice advantage here is you can do a session, and if you like it, great, keep it. If it didn't work out, maybe it's too short, maybe it's too long, maybe it's too intense, maybe the kids didn't understand it, whatever. You can come in here, you can modify it, you can take pieces and mix and match. And most importantly, you can share them. So if I create one, you can use it. If you create one, I can use it. I can create your or use your activities. You can use my activities. So it's all very share-centric to make it easy. And so you don't have to do a lot of work, and I don't have to do the same amount of work. You do some, I do some, and we both benefit. Now, when I want to create my session plan, let's call this, I don't know, Skills 101. Okay, all I do is I take from here, I drag and drop it in, and now you'll see that we're creating our duration. And for the next segment, we're going to do rondos, except I only want half the people to do rondos and the other people to be doing, let's say, box jumps. Okay, so group B will do box jumps, group A will do the rondo. Add another segment, and now we'll do some running, and add another segment, and we'll do wall passes again, and more rondos. Now, obviously, we wouldn't do it this way, but we just have more activities, right? I've just done this very quickly. So now we're up to 1 hour and 1 minute. And if we have a 1 hour practice, well, okay, I'm done. If I need to do more, I just add more in. Now I can put in my description. I can add this to a category. And now I can link it to my schedule. Okay? Hit submit, and we're done. Just this practice. Okay. So we've created very quickly a session plan with videos, with drag and drop simplicity, with images. And again, once you create these, all the coaches get to share and work off of the same database. And again, it's linked into the schedule. So if we come back here, you can see all these, let's go to practices. All these practices have session plans attached to them. So let's come back to sessions. And this one, again, performance profile. Well, this might seem a little confusing because we have performance profile and we have player evaluation. Well, performance profile is really more about ongoing evaluation, taking measurable type of activities like 40-yard dash, dynamic throws, jumping. Again, these are all made up. But creating these activities as a library, again, same thing. We create our activity, we put in all this different stuff. They can be shared or they can be the ones that you create. But we take our activities, we have our templates, we have our data entry, we have our player reports. Now, if you want to create a list of criteria for your older kids, middle-aged kids, younger kids, you can measure them ongoing from start of season, every 2 weeks, every 30 days, whatever it is that you want to do. So think of this as kind of like a spreadsheet where you're creating the activity, you are measuring, you're entering the data, you're keeping track of your players' performance, and of course you have reports that demonstrate the progress over time. Now, I'm going to jump down to player evaluation. Player evaluation is very similar. We have our criteria library where we are looking at all the different things that we might put on a player evaluation form. So just for this example, I'll add something new. How about okay, and I've got 3 options. I can have a scale of 1 to 10. a true, false, or multiple choice. In this case, I'm going to stick with scale, save it, and that's it. Now I'm building it. I'm going to go back here just so you see it. Again, categories, just nothing but organization. I can have my different age groups. I can say physical. I can, whatever you want to do. You know, it's just folders in your system for better organization. Okay, so now these are all my different questions. These are all the different things I have, and they remain in there as a library item. Now when I build my form, it's the same thing. I have my different forms in here already built. If I want to build a new form, all I do is I come in here and I take my category and drag and drop. Can she shoot? True, false. Let's go field awareness. Okay, now I've got my scale. Team player. Let's see, I don't know if this is. Oh, another scale. Let's go dribbling. There we go. Both feet proficiently, strong foot only, weak foot needs work. Okay, I can add as many of these as I want. I save it, and now I have my player evaluation form. Okay, and I have canned comments, because very often you're going to say the same thing for kids in the same age group. You know, how many times are you going to type needs to work on weak foot dribbling? Well, you know, common thing. Okay, now they can go into evaluation staging. This is optional. But the reason we have this is because as a DOC, you may want to look at the evaluations before you approve them, before they go to the player. This gives you that opportunity. You can either do it or not do it. But if you want, you can have them all go into an evaluation staging bucket. You look at them, you either approve it or not approve it. And if you don't approve it, you send it back. The coach has to make the changes and then send it back before it ever goes out to the player. And of course, evaluation reports. Now I'm going to come into the players page, but I'm actually going to do it backwards, because what I'm going to do is show you what a players page looks like. You'll get to see what the focus animation looks like as well. So now in this players page, oh, there's focus animation. You see that we have their image, their main video. We've got their playlist videos. I'm just going to stop that. Down here you have free form. You can put anything you want in here. So whatever the player wants to put in. We have searchable criteria. So now we've got all our gender, date of birth, height, weight, dominant foot, etc., etc. College information, search tags. They can message the player. So this gives players a customized way to contact and get recruited. Contact soccer coaches, college coaches. And again, you see this link here. This is a personalized link. They chose this link and they keep this forever. So this is the link that they keep forever. The accounts are free forever. So regardless of whether they're with one club, 5 clubs, high school, no matter what they do, they will always have their players page. They will always own it. So if you are just a player and all you want to do is create a players page, well, you can do that with Soccer Pro. You don't have to use all the other components. And again, it's free forever. We'll come into the players page and I'll just show you how to create it. So here all they have to do is come in and name it, check for the name they want, and if it's available, they get it. And then they can have a public name, because they may not want to show their real name. Just because they signed up with a name doesn't mean they want that name to be shown publicly. So I can put in my public name, I can put in my image, I can have the status. I can either hide it from the world or I can show it. So I'm always in control. This is what I'll use to create my free form information. Again, whatever I want to put in here. If I want to add images in here, I can do anything I want, and it's very simple to put in. Now I put in all my other information, what league I play in, all these things, okay? College information, search tags, and again, this is very free form. So creating a players page is very easy. Now, when it comes to the video, I have my videos down here, and I can just click it and add it to the page. Or I can add all of these, or I should say, I can do this, add all of them to the page, or I can just click and add one at a time, and then I can rearrange them as I choose, and they will show up in this fashion. Okay, very easy to work with, very easy to use, and very practical, because now as a player, you're always sending the same link to the coaches. You're not sending them to YouTube. They're not seeing other players. And especially like some of our competitors have done, they're forcing these coaches to watch ads in front of every one of your videos, which is ridiculous. Soccer coaches aren't sitting around watching commercials to watch videos. They want to see you. They don't want to see a bunch of commercials, and they don't want to see a bunch of related videos and or related players. I never understood that. Why would they show related players when you're trying to promote yourself? Our players page is all about you, nothing but you, no commercials, just your content, your videos. Get straight to the point, save the coach's time, and of course, get yourself in front of them in the most efficient way possible. So, what's left? Well, we have our Learning Center. And our Learning Center is a way for you to create your club culture. Because now you can put all your different criteria in here, like defending, attacking. And you see every time I click this top category, I can have more in here, but I just have this number. You can have 15, 20 different categories if you wanted. But anyhow, this is my master category. And then down here you see my subcategories. And inside here, now I've got my goalkeeping category, and I got different aspects of it. Defending could be best practices for defending. It could be delaying. It could be whatever it is you want to put in here. You can start to build up your club culture, and now your players get to see from your existing videos what you want before they have to go out on the pitch for the first time. So you can create your club culture, get everyone playing the way you want them to play and performing the way you want, and then you can use this as a point of comparison and say, hey, look, this is the way you guys are supposed to be playing. Now let's look at how you are doing it, and let's compare the two. Or, frankly, you can do anything you want with it. All right, now we have our virtual coach. And virtual coach gives you the chance to either have us do it, or you can have anyone do it. And let me show you how that works. Now we're going to bounce back to the media section. We're going to go into a project. And let's just pick on this one. And now I have different permissions. All our permissions, you are totally in control all the time, is who gets to watch your video. Here, you have edit permissions, okay? So only you can edit this project or others can edit this project. By default, only you can edit the project. But if you want someone else to edit the project for you, if you want them to put in the tags, the time of possession, do the statistics for you, you can send this link to anybody. Okay, it can be us, it can be your assistant coaches, it can be your players, it can be a contract coach. And they can take this video, this project, and work on it for you. And they are never inside your account, but they are working on the video inside your account. So it's very practical. Okay, and you don't want them to work on it anymore. You just go like this, and they no longer have access. Okay, so our virtual coach makes it very easy for other people to work on your video, whether you're paying them to do it, whether they're assistant coaches, players, etc. Now, last but not least, we have our business center. The business center makes it so you can run every single thing through one system, including your registration. It will run your billing, you can sell products, you can have your marketing, your CRM, your emails, your survey system. And when you are trying to run a club, you really can't afford to do all these things manually. I mean, it's just too much time. So we've created very soccer specific items, and I've done videos on these, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But you'll notice that we have regular products here and we have registration products. And one of the cool things we have is in this registration product, you can make these fixed schedules. You can offer prepaid discounts. You can have people pay with a credit card. They can pay with cash, checks, combinations of cash and check. They can make partial payments, extra payments. So this works extremely well for getting your kids registered into your club. It has your waivers, your liability, your medical, everything is attached to the order form. So now everything comes through one system at the time they register, and you don't have to try to piece this whole thing together. We also have regular products. Let me come back in here, And maybe you need to sell your training shirts or promotional items, or maybe you've got digital downloads. Maybe you want to sell ebooks. You've got different types of recurring billing. And this is different than a fixed schedule because this is more like your 3 easy payments or a subscription where they're paying every 30 days, that sort of thing. You can create options for, again, if you're thinking about shirts, what sizes, what colors, do you want to personalize them, your inventory. This is a complete e-commerce system, all built into one. So not only do you have your coaching applications, but you've got all your e-commerce, your marketing, your CRM, and we've got our dashboard, your activity, your customer management. We've got newsletter broadcasts. We have automatic funnels and sales paths. We have our action surveys. So everything is built in. You can't possibly get a more complete system than what we're putting together for you so that you can do your coaching, your business, your marketing, your player management, your reviews, your player evaluations, your session planner, your travel system, your schedule. Everything's all neatly wrapped up into one bundle, and it's created just for the needs of soccer. I think that's pretty clear by the time you look at our scheduling system that we're the only ones really thinking about those things. And again, we have some more things we're adding into it because we know soccer very well. We want to make sure that everything is as automated as possible for you. And we're going to continue down that path because we want to make sure that you can focus on the things that you care about, which is getting out on the pitch, coaching the kids, and having fun winning games. You don't want to spend all your time trying to coordinate, trying to get chaperones, trying to deal with hotel booking links and all those other things that create all those headaches when you're trying to manage teams, manage a club, get payments, etc. So I hope this quick demo has opened your eyes as to what Soccer Pro can do for you and your club and your coaching. This is Gary, hoping you have a great day. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you like the content, subscribe, sign up, hit that like button. And most importantly of all, go get a free account of Soccer Pro. It's free today. It's free forever. You got 10 gig of space. It works just like Gmail. If you want to keep it forever and keep it free, keep it free. If you want to move up, if you want to use more and more and more, if you want to run your whole club, well, sure, go to the higher package, but you don't have to. If you're a player, get your players page up. It's free forever. If you leave one club, you just reconnect it to another club. It's totally unique like that, just like Gmail. With Gmail, you can move from company to company to company and keep reconnecting your Gmail account. You can do the same with Soccer Pro. You just connect up. It's not an embedded system where once you put all your content in there, your videos, your coaching videos, your player videos, and you leave that club, well, it's trapped. Not with Soccer Pro. You always own your own content. All right, I'm going to stop talking. I'll let you run off and sign up for a free account of Soccer Pro today. You will love it. It'll make your life easier. It'll make your business better and make for a happier life. So get out there, get on the pitch, get Soccer Pro, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you personally. All right, have a great day. Bye now.